Good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss about another topic in immunology, major histocompatibility complex. I have told you about this major histocompatibility complex many a times in some other chapters during the antigen processing and presentation, during the phagocytosis. So many places I mentioned about the major histocompatibility complex. Today in this particular lecture we are going to discuss about the function of major histocompatibility complex in detail, and especially we are going to see about the structure of major histocompatibility complex. Every mammalian species possesses a tightly linked cluster of genes that is called as the major histocompatibility complex. So this can be seen in all mammalian species. The function of the major histocompatibility complex is that will be helping in the antigen processing and presentation. And you know that we have discussed under exogenous and endogenous antigen processing and presentation pathway, wherein we have seen that in the case of exogenous antigen, that means any bacteria or any other foreign particle, when it enters into the body, phagocytosis happens, and the phagocytic cells will present the antigen along with the class 2 MHC molecule, whereas whenever endogenous antigens are there in the body, that means one example we have what I have told you about the viruses. When virus infection happens, I think all of you remember those steps, genome integration and then viral protein synthesis. Viral proteins will enter into the proteasome complex, degradation happens, and finally those peptides will be presented along with the class 1 MHC molecule. So endogenous antigens are presented along with the class 1 MHC molecule, and exogenous antigens are presented along with the class 2 MHC molecule. So this way I have told you several times. Now we are going to see in detail about the structure of major histocompatibility complex. Okay, so this plays a major role in intercellular recognition and discrimination between self and non-self antigens, and this plays a major role in the humoral and the cell-mediated immune response. So humoral immunity is mediated by the class 2 MHC presentation, and cell-mediated immunity is mediated by the antigen which are presented along with the class 1 MHC molecule. Okay, now the MHCs are it is made up of a complex set of genes encoding the cell surface molecule. These are required for the antigen processing and presentation, especially the presentation process. MHCs are required for the presentation process. These MHC genes are they are located on chromosome number 6 in human and on chromosome number 17 in mice. Okay, that you have to remember always. In the case of human being, the genes which cause for class 1 MHC molecule, the MHC molecules are located on chromosome number 6, and in mice it is on chromosome number 17. In human being, this also I told you in some other class. In human being, major histocompatibility complex is known as the human leukocyte antigen, whereas in mice it is called as the H2 complex. Okay, that also you have to remember, because in many places they will be asking about write a note on HLA. HLA stands for human leukocyte antigen. Actually, there are three different classes of major histocompatibility complex: class 1 MHC, class 2 MHC, and class 3 MHC molecule. Class 1 and class 2, it has a proper structure, which I have drawn here. Class 1 and class 2 MHC molecule, it has a proper structure, whereas class 3 does not have a proper structure because they are not membrane bound. Class 1 and class 2, they are membrane bound protein, it has a proper structure, whereas class 3, they don't have a proper structure. Usually they are soluble proteins. Examples of class 3 proteins which are encoded by the class 3 major histocompatibility complex is complement, which we have studied already, and your heat shock proteins, tumor necrosis factor, all these are coded by the class 3 MHC cluster of genes. Okay, so class 1 and class 2 they have a proper structure, whereas class 3 they don't have a proper structure. So class 3 usually these involves various secreted protein that have immune reaction. I told you already, complements and then components involved in inflammation such as tumor necrosis factor, and all those heat shock protein, all those things are coming under class 3 MHC molecule. So now we are going to see the structure of class 1 MHC molecule. So this is a very interesting, easy structure. First you need to make a diagram of the class 1 MHC molecule. This during the processing and presentation chapter also I have given you this diagram of class 1 MHC molecule. When you look into the structure of the class 1 MHC molecule, you can see that class 1 MHC molecule is made up of alpha polypeptide chain, which is linked with a small, very short polypeptide, which is called as the beta 2 microglobulin. So class 1 MHC molecule, it consists of 45 kDa alpha chain. Okay, two chains are there. One is 45 kilodalton. The size of the alpha chain is 45 kilodalton, and if you remember, I told you about the folding of MHC molecule also. This happens in the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum will synthesize the alpha chain. The primary structure of the alpha chain will undergo folding in the endoplasmic reticulum with the help of what are those proteins which are there in the endoplasmic reticulum? Chaperones. You remember those chaperones? Calnexin, calreticulin and tapacin. Just go through the previous topic where we discussed about this the folding of the MHC molecule. So those chaperones will help in the proper folding of the alpha chain, and once the alpha chain is folded properly, they will bind with the beta 2 microglobulin. Now what is the size of the beta 2 microglobulin? It is just 12 kilodalton. Okay, alpha chain is 45 kDa, whereas beta 2 microglobulin, you cannot call it as a beta chain, it is just beta 2 microglobulin that has 12 kilodalton polypeptide chain. Now the alpha is divided into, in the diagram you can see that alpha is divided into three domains. What are the three domains? Alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. So like any other membrane bound protein, it has three regions are there. All the receptors, all the proteins which are present on the membrane will have three regions. What are the three regions? The region which is facing outside, it is called as the extracellular region, a very twisted transmembrane domain and a small cytoplasmic domain. So three regions are there: extracellular domain, transmembrane domain and the intracellular domain, which is also called as the cytoplasmic domain. Okay, and now you look into the structure of the beta 2 microglobulin. Beta 2 microglobulin, they does not enter into the plasma membrane. That's a very, very important point to remember. Now you can see here beta 2 microglobulin polypeptide chain does not enter into the plasma membrane. So when you are making the diagram, make sure that you are drawing the diagram properly. Alpha chain will fold and penetrate into the plasma membrane. The hydrophobic amino acid containing region will penetrate into the plasma membrane and it will be hidden inside the plasma membrane, because in the plasma membrane also the hydrophobic tails are there wherein this polypeptide chains will penetrate, because this region contains hydrophobic amino acid. And this has hydrophilic, and here also it is hydrophilic. Okay, now once after folding, beta 2 microglobulin joins with that, but beta 2 microglobulin does not penetrate into the plasma membrane. Beta 2 microglobulin is linked to the alpha chain with the help of some of the non-covalent interactions. Beta 2 microglobulin that binds to the alpha chain with the help of non-covalent interaction. And alpha chain is anchored to the plasma membrane. And total number of amino acids, the alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3 consist of 90 amino acids. The transmembrane region consists of 25 amino acids and the cytoplasmic tail consists of 30 amino acids. And you can see here in the case of class 1 MHC molecule, there is a peptide binding cleft. What do you mean by peptide binding cleft? Once after the antigen processing and presentation, antigen processing, whether it is exogenous or endogenous antigen, once the protein is degraded into small peptide, that peptide will be binding to the class 1 or class 2 MHC molecule. Wherever the peptide is binding, this is the region where the peptide binds. Okay, the size of the peptide which can bind to the class 1 MHC molecule, this is a very important point to remember for competitive examination. Peptide binding cleft can bind to 8 to 10 amino acid long peptide. So once after the digestion, many peptide chains will be formed. If the size of the peptide is larger than 8 to 10 amino acid, it cannot bind to this cleft where the cleft which is located between the alpha 1 and the alpha 2 domain. So you can see here the cleft where the antigen is going to bind, that is closed. Alpha 1 is folded and alpha 2 domain is there, and the peptide is going to bind here. So this region is a closed one, and the region where the peptide binds, that region is called as the agritop. You remember epitope and paratop. Epitope where it is located. Epitopes are the region which is present on the antigen, which binds with the antibody. The region of the antibody that binds with the epitope is called as paratope. So epitope is on antigen, paratope is on the antibody, and the region of the major histocompatibility complex where the peptide binds, that region is called as the agritope. So three topes you have to remember: epitope, paratope and the agritope. So that's all about the structure of class 1 MHC molecule. Now next we'll move on to the class 2 MHC molecule. So class 2 MHC molecule consists of two chains. Okay, so here it is one long polypeptide chain, that is alpha, and which is linked to the beta 2 microglobulin, whereas in the case of class 2 MHC molecule, class 1 MHC molecule, where you can find them, they are present on all the nucleated cells. All the nucleated cells, they have class 1 MHC molecule, whereas class 2 MHC molecule, they are present on the APCs. What is APC? Antigen presenting cells. Okay, so it consists of, class 2 MHC molecule consists of two polypeptide chains. One is alpha, another one is the beta. Both alpha and beta then penetrate into the plasma membrane. So both alpha and beta, it has extracellular domain, transmembrane domain and the cytoplasmic domain. And alpha is folded into two domains, alpha 1 and alpha 2, and the beta is folded into two domains, beta 1 and the beta 2. Okay, so this is the hydrophilic region which is facing towards the cytoplasm, towards the extracellular domain, and hydrophobic amino acids will be penetrating into the plasma membrane, and the tail region, that is again hydrophilic, which will be facing towards the cytoplasm. Okay, so now the alpha polypeptide chain consists of 33 kDa protein, that is alpha chain is 33 kDa, beta is 28 kDa. They are associated with the non-covalent interaction. So beta 2 is associated with the alpha with non-covalent. Similarly, alpha 1 and beta 1 are linked together by the non-covalent interaction. Here, what is the size of the peptide which can bind to class 1 MHC molecule? 8 to 10 amino acid. In the case of class 2, it can bind to 13 to 18 amino acid long peptide. Okay, so these are the major difference between the class 1 and the class 2 MHC molecule. Okay, now the beta 2 microglobulin gene. So the class 1 and class 2 genes are located on chromosome number 6 in human being, and class 1 genes are located in the telomeric end, whereas class 2 genes are located on the centromeric end. Okay, class 1 genes are located on the telomeric end, whereas class 2 genes are located on the centromeric end. Beta 2 microglobulin, beta 2 microglobulin, this particular protein, the gene which codes for beta 2 microglobulin, that is located on chromosome number 2. That also you have to remember always. Chromosome number 6, that is the place where class 1 and class 2 genes are located, except beta 2 microglobulin. Beta 2 microglobulin gene is located on chromosome number 2. Okay. Now, class 1 MHC molecule is encoded by K and D region in mice and A, B, C loci in human being. Okay, class 1 MHC molecule, it is encoded by K and D region in mice and A, B, C loci in human being, and these are called classical class 1 MHC molecule. Class 2 MHC molecules are encoded by IA and IE region in mice and DP, DQ and DR in human. Okay, IA and IE region in mice and DP, DQ and DR in human being. So this will be coming across these terms in somewhere in the coming chapters. We'll be discussing about this one. And the level of class 1 MHC molecule, okay, level of class 1 differs in nucleated cells. More number of major histocompatibility complexes are present in the lymphocyte, and other cells express less number of major histocompatibility complexes. So I told you already that class 1 MHC molecule, it is present on the nucleated cell. More number of MHCs are present on the lymphocyte, because these are the ones which will be which are involved in the immune response, whereas other cells express less number of MHC. Example, liver cells, fibroblast. Okay, so liver and fibroblast, they have less number of MHC. That is why most of the time liver transplantation is successful. So one important point to remember is, whenever you go for transplantation, they will be checking for HLA matching. What is HLA? Human leukocyte matching. between the donor and the recipient, HLA matching should be there, then only you can go for transplantation, otherwise the transplanted organ get rejected. So to avoid that, as soon as you go for the transplantation, when you get the donor, they will check the MHC compatibility between the donor and the recipient. It should be more than 80% HLA compatibility. Otherwise, people have to take immunosuppressant throughout their life, and that's a very risky thing. That is why MHC or HLA matching is required. In the case of liver transplantation, that much compatibility is not required, because liver cells that express less number of MHC. But still there is a need for HLA matching, but most of the time liver transplantation is successful because it possesses less number of MHC. Class 2, it is expressed by antigen presenting cells. Expression may differ at different levels of development. Okay, pre-B cell, there is no class 2 MHC molecule. B cell is an antigen presenting cell. So during the maturation process, pre-B cell, that is the precursor of the B cell, there is no class 2 MHC molecule, whereas mature B cell, they have more number of class 2 MHC molecule. And similarly, naive macrophage, that is the monocyte, once after differentiation, monocyte differentiate into macrophages. The naive one, that means newly formed macrophages, they will have less number of class 2 MHC molecule. Whereas whenever the macrophages encounter with the antigen, they will start possessing more number of major histocompatibility complex. Class 2 MHC is a heterodimer, right? It has two chains are there. One is alpha, another one is the beta polypeptide chain. So class 2 MHC is a heterodimer. Both maternal and paternal MHC genes are expressed. That is, one maternal derived chain and one will be a paternal derived. Beta-2 microglobulin of class 1 is encoded by a gene of different chromosome and may be derived from either of the parent. Where is this gene located? It is located on the chromosome number 2. That you have to remember always. Now, what are the how this MHC expression is regulated? Both class 1 and class 2 MHCs are flanked by a 5' promoter sequence which bind to the transcription factor. MHC 2 transactivator or C2TA, that is a factor which is needed for the gene expression in the case of class 2 MHC molecule. Okay, another transcription factor which is called as RFX. So both C2TA stands for class 2 transcription activator, and another factor called as RFX, both bind to the promoter region of the class 2 MHC molecule. Defect in these transcription factors, so whenever these transcription factors are defective, the gene expression level will be less. That lead to a syndrome called as the Bayer lymphocyte syndrome. Okay, so that lead to Bayer lymphocyte syndrome, wherein the lymphocyte will not be possessing the MHC molecule. So that condition is known as the Bayer lymphocyte syndrome. Patients with this disorder, they lack class 2 MHC, as a result of which they will have severe immunodeficiency. Expression of MHC is regulated by various cytokines such as interferon alpha, beta, gamma, and tumor necrosis factor. Okay, so MHC expression is affected by viruses. This also I told you in some other lecture. Hepatitis B virus and adenovirus, these are examples. The viral protein bind to the beta-2 microglobulin of class 1 MHC, because whenever you have viral infection, class 1 MHC is the one which will be helping in the antigen processing and presentation. In the case of hepatitis B viral infection and adenovirus infection, viral protein bind to the beta-2 microglobulin of class 1 MHC and prevent the assembly of alpha with beta-2 microglobulin. Thereby, the immune system cannot get activated for the viral infection. So that is the defense mechanism of the virus to escape from the immune response. Adenovirus infection also can affect the MHC expression, wherein adenovirus 12 infection decreases the transcription of TAP. You remember what is TAP? TAP is the transporter associated with the antigen processing. So this adenovirus 12 infection, that will affect the TAP expression, thereby the antigen processing and presentation will not be happening properly. Okay, So whenever you have to go for a transplantation process, you need to go for HLA matching. Donors and recipient HLA matching will be done. The test is known as the compatibility test. Yes, many number of diseases. There are a various list of diseases are there which are associated with the MHC allele. Autoimmune disorders, viral disorders, bacterial disorders, neurological disorders, and some of the allergies that will completely depend on the expression of the MHC allele. Okay, variation in antigen presentation by MHC allele determines the effectiveness of immune response. Sometimes epitopes of an antigen mimics some of the self-antigen. So whenever a foreign particle enters, the epitopes which are there on the foreign particle, that will mimic the self-antigens which are there in the body. So that lead to lack of immune activation. So that is also another mechanism of mechanism to escape from the immune response. Okay. So that's all about the major histocompatibility complex. So if they ask major histocompatibility complex in the examination, you need to write about major histocompatibility complex, draw the structure of class 1 and class 2 MHC molecule, and explain the structure in detail, and the other points what I have mentioned you need to write about all the points, because this is a very important chapter in immunology. Okay, so you should have a very good idea about the major histocompatibility complex. Thank you.